Well, greetings and hello there, everybody. It's me, your beloved Star Wars dad, Nooch Too Good, and I'm here today with your pal and mine, SONGETA. Say hello, SONGETA.
Hello, Nooch World.
It's
Hope you know who I am.
it has been a hot minute since we got together. I mean, it's been at least 3 months, right?
Yeah, it's been longer than that. I mean, I think I remember doing a collab with you and Rabbit Beaver. I don't know if we did anything after that. That was last year.
Oh boy,
Talking about Lightspeed bundles.
that's been quite some time. So you jumped on the stream the other day, and we were like, let's get together and talk. So here's my topic for today. I asked you to look at because you are the guru of the end game and now also the early game rosters. So welcome to my world there. So sorry, I claimed that world. I didn't mean to do that automatically, but we're looking at my main roster here, and I have two basic questions for you, and I thought it'd be worth a fun discussion. And the first question for me is, what should I farm next? And let me give you a little bit of my conundrum and where I sit. I'll do it real briefly. You know, I've got the 7 Galactic Legends. I'm pending Kenobi and Lord Vader, and I'm farming Kenobi actively right now. I've just probably got 20 relic levels left on a few characters to get to Kenobi, so I'm going to finish that. But when I get that done, I've been getting a little grief, and probably well-deserved, for not farming up the teams for the guild, which are also teams that perform pretty well in Grand Arena, and the two teams I'm looking at, or maybe three, would be Bo-Katan Mandalore, the UFU team that would go along with farming Jedi Knight Cal. So should I go for Lord Vader after Jedi Master Kenobi, or should I do those other teams instead of that and wait for Lord Vader?
First, the question: why'd you get Ahsoka before Kenobi?
I got Ahsoka before Kenobi because the account is about 2.5 years old. I spent a year.
Oh, is this your main account?
Yeah, this is my main account.
But it's like is it like your whale main account? Like
Correct.
Whale new account?
Correct.
Okay.
And that's the reason. So since I was whaling last year, I spent a year spending $100 a week. Since I was whaling, I committed to getting Capital Ship and I got Balin Skull, I've got Jar Jar, and I've got Ahsoka. So that's why I've got Ahsoka on this account before Jedi Master Kenobi.
Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, Ahsoka is significantly harder to get than JMK, so that's a little surprising. Yeah, I mean, it looks like your ships are awesome. Like, I don't see any weaknesses there. So, yeah, we just can worry about the characters. Well, I do think there's something to be said for perfecting some of the teams you already have. Like, you have Rey, and I noticed Ben Solo's sitting there at Gear 1, Level 1. So, explain, please.
So, that's a great question. I started unlocking the conquest characters here in the last, I'm going to say 6 to 8 months. So they kind of all hit my roster at the same time, which I think is kind of the struggle. And you'll run into this eventually on your baby account. Is you're going to get all these characters are going to unlock, boom, and you're going to have them all on your roster within a couple of months. So then it becomes a choice of which ones to go with, which ones not to go with, and then it becomes a question of, what do my Omicrons and Zetas look like? You know, I'm good on Kyrotech for the most part, but I got to pick my spots with Zetas and Omicrons. And my Rey team, and here's another reason, my Rey team has been performing really well with Commander Ahsoka on it. So,
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, she kind of takes that spot of Ben Solo. They do different things, but the extra stats she gives to that Rey team, it surprises people. I get a lot of holds. Yeah. Even without having Ben. Now, when I get Jedi Master Kenobi, that may mean that I got to go get Ben Solo now.
Who else do you set with that team?
3v3 this round, and it worked. I went with Rey, Commander Ahsoka, and I put Ezra on the team and fielded I put a different team with Ahsoka Tano, and that got a hold, and the guy quit.
Dang, nice.
Yeah, it was really nice.
Just one thing. I mean, for 3v3, that's probably, well, you do have Ahsoka. I don't know. But in 5v5, at least, try to make sure you at least put one Galactic Republic or Scoundrel, so she has someone to swap Shien with. Cause I have some experience using Rey with Cat on just manually in TB, because on a Zepho, at Ufu planet. I only really win it consistently if I bring Cat there. And since I started bringing Seer, she's a scoundrel, so I can swap with her. But Cat's stats can be shared if there's a light side Ufu, but she can't swap turns with them, so she can't reduce her cooldowns for the insta kill. So just something to think about.
Got it. Okay, that's good. I mean, that could be like L3 on a raid team. That would make a lot of sense, right?
L3, yeah. Yeah, and they don't like attack. Well, L3, she's got counter chance, right? So that would be good. It's just whoever attacks out of turn helps cool it down, and the initial assist counts. So, yeah. I mean, the top of your roster looks great. It's weird to see no JMK or Lord Vader, but if you're gonna like spend on the clones, yeah, get Lord Vader. But if not, like I don't know, I'm not impressed with Lord Vader Maul right now. And that's partly because Jabba is elevated. Because I love using Lord Vader against Jabba, but I just tried it once this season and just got hooked because I didn't have any special bonus on my side, and their thermal bonuses are too much to handle. But I mean, your top of your roster looks great. I would say Ben. I mean, Bo-Katan. But yeah, JMK is probably the highest priority after that. It's pretty clear.
But after JMK, do you think I should go right into? I'm not going to get the clones. I'm spending a lot less this year. I pulled back because last year was painful.
So no clones. So gotcha.
I'll farm them, slow farm them, but.
Bo is, she's a really good offensive tool, but I would probably say Malicos first.
Okay.
Just because like, in 3v3, Malicos and Starkiller could do pretty much anything, but just in general, I think it's just a better team, more powerful. TW, they're both kind of meh, whatever. But yeah, that team get Cal. I mean, and yeah, I tend not to super prioritize guild stuff, but Cal is good enough on his own where it's kind of a varied value. I don't know if that makes sense. But you got a bunch of different value points for it. He's great with the Jedi. And a lot of times JML can't really do as much without him. It kind of leans on Cal, especially for like Leia counters. So that opens up an extra counter too. So if you do your Malicos and pick up Ezra along the way, I think that's a good place to start. And then the Saul team's really good. What's your Luthen?
I've got Rebel Fighter holes. I don't have a Rebel Fighter team. I never have. Okay. So.
Not a huge priority. I mean, if you do get one, I would only say Saw lead, Luthen,
and see
you
that's
do have Cal Katarn,
right?
Huh?
With Saw and Luthen, that's 6 Omicrons, and maybe only 3 or 4 I got to use. But
you don't need that. That's not 6 Omicrons.
Is it not?
1. No, Saw's just a marquee. He has like 1.
Hold on. Maybe I guess you're right. Saw has a leader Omicron.
Yeah, I mean, just get that one and like 1 Luthen one. That's fine.
Okay.
But this is later. I think for Malicos, you're good with just his 3, or 2 even. No, 3 you probably want. I prioritize the uniques on him. But yeah, I mean, Malicos being the focus of that, but then to make him work, you need Seer,
right?
And Cal, and there's lead into Jedi Cal. And do you have Marin already? Yeah, you already got Marin, so I mean, you're not missing too much for that farm. I'm guessing it won't be too painful to get those Gear 12 characters, and they're already 7 stars, so that'll be a kind of seamless transition. Yeah, JMK, Malicos into a Seer team to support him with Jedi Cal is the immediate priority. But then Ben Solo is a one-off, definitely, because I mean, Cat's great, but Ben Solo doesn't take away from a team with Cat. And also, once you get JMK, you're gonna be
right. She's gone, and then I need Ben Solo on that team then.
Yeah. But I mean, looking at the bottom of your roster, I can't see anything that you have that's not activated, but it doesn't seem like you're missing too much. I guess one of the I haven't looked yet, but I'm guessing one of the farms you skipped would be. Oh no, do you have Aphra?
I have I bought the bundle, and I have not farmed her, because of zetas and omicrons, and I just haven't had the time to prioritize that.
You don't need her.
That's what I
mean, right
thought
now,
too,
she's
right?
Nice. Yeah, right now she's nice for her focus datacron, but that's a whole extra level of investment.
Right.
But beyond the roster, I think your roster is pretty awesome and pretty focused, but your datacrons are pretty lacking. Especially when it comes to 3v3, you just need so many.
Yeah.
And it's just gonna over time you build up an inventory. I have videos on farming datacrons. I haven't done one in a while, and I probably should since a bunch has changed, especially with data cache. But the way they keep increasing the cap makes it easier and easier to get like a rolling stone or like a snowball of data cache, because whenever a new set comes out and the old one expires, I start out with so much data. Like I'm starting out with 100 million now. It used to be 30 million, and I was trying to rush first couple days of conquest, try to rush to the end of sector 3 or sector 4 just to get mats to be able to spend all the data cache that I was going to dust. But now up to 100 million, I'm still getting up to the 100 million from what's dusting, and the level of inventory for each that I have is higher than the one before, or the one that 2 sets before or whatever, just because the data cache is less of a bottleneck. But also you need to do 50s, and you don't have to do 100s. Like Bit Dynasty doesn't do 100s, and he's still pretty up there.
Yeah.
But if you want to build a huge collection, do the 50s and 1 or 2 100s. Only farm sector 4 pretty much. I mean, with the focus datacrons, we need that tier 1 mat a little bit more.
Right.
Because it just hogs it up. I used to never ever need to add any of those. And I used to not be low on tier 3. Because like the bottleneck was always tier 2, because you need like 300 some of tier 2 to max out a datacron and 190 at tier 3. So like I'd always have a lot more tier 3, but now it's kind of evened out. But yeah, like the sector 4 node where it gets you Mark 2, Mark 3, or tier 2, tier 3, whatever materials, that's the node to hit in conquest. And then you got to be checking the shipment refresh, the datacron shipment.
Right.
Like as many per day as you can to just pick some of those up for shard shop currency. A lot of endgame players, like the people I put out a video like a couple weeks ago about the post gear economy. Most gear, even gear 12, gear 13 gear, I don't really need anything. I have like over 2,000 kairos of each type, like so much of all this gear. I don't really need it. So a lot of endgame players just say shard shop currency now is only for datacrons. You don't even like use it on any gear. I still use it on like purple pieces like med packs and those for gear 12 and stuff, because those I do run out of. And it's tedious to check every refresh, but the amount of data cache you farm in conquest is just pitiful. It's just like pathetic. You get 50 to 150,000. It just goes nowhere. It was so demoralizing when they changed to that format, and it was like the only way you could get it was from built up legacy. Like people just, and before simming, like, it's so easy to farm datacrons now. Before simming, it was so painful. You just have to sit there and like re-auto things over and over again.
Right. So let me tell you this. I have an overall plan for datacron farming and mod farming too, because my mods aren't bad, but they're definitely not endgame. My mods are like, I don't know if you've seen my mod curve. When it hits about 8.5 million, this curve starts to take off where the end gamers have big mod sets. I'm riding right on that curve right now, and I've got to get above that curve. But what I'm thinking with datacrons and mods is that I take it, I get my roster to where I can climb to Kyber 1 with my roster with the characters on and ships, and then I go hard after the datacron. Like I start doing the 100 refreshes on mods every day. I start doing more of the 100 refreshes on datacrons. But what I'm hearing from you is maybe take a couple rounds of, a full round of datacrons this time, do the 100s this time, and the return on investment for that is pretty good, or not return on investment.
Yes,
like
do you
kind
already
of.
Do the 50s?
Say again.
Do you already do the 50s?
I do the 50s automatically on Conquest automatically. Yes.
Okay.
And I do 100s when I need them for something specifically.
Okay. And you're farming all the feats on the datacron nodes?
Yeah, that's where I do all the feats. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, then I guess next step is just do hundreds too.
All right.
Because I mean, yeah, getting the roster that's something that takes a while, but the datacrons you can just start building up like
Well, let's go
now.
into part two of this then. So, looking at my roster with where I am, what do you think is a reasonable time frame for me having a roster built up where I can climb into Kyber 1? You know, I look at it like once I get Lord Vader and I get, you know, maybe that Saw Gerrera team, the Bo-Katan team, the Ufu team on the lineup, I get Jedi Cal and Jedi Master. Once I get all that on my roster, I feel like, yeah, there's some new teams I got to work on, but that gets me to a point where with the right mods and datacrons, I've got a chance. I don't know, what are your thoughts on that and how long do you think it'll take?
Yeah, I mean, you definitely have a chance. Like, you're not missing too much in the way of important things. I mean, there's some teams that I do use pretty much every match, like Dark Trooper Moff Gideon, but I don't think he's like fully necessary. He's not on the same par of like a GL or Malicos or anything like that. So you're pretty close. I mean, but after all the stuff we talked about with Malicos and Cal, I think Bo-Katan's up there too. Um, and after Saw, but yeah, you're right there. It's just it really is. Datacrons are a huge deal because it just adds so much more bite to any team, just especially the stats too. Like I don't get too distracted by level 9. Specific level 9s are trying to pigeonhole force that like a good level 9 into your strategy. 'Cause I'm at a point where I see a great level 9 coming out. I'm like, that's great, that's really cool, but I don't know if I can use it, especially in 5v5 when there's only 11 teams on offense, 11 teams on defense. The existing top 22 teams are just so good that unless a really good datacron is just modifying one of those teams, it's hard to like crack into that.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think of an example, but like Bodhi Rook, like I don't know. Chirrut, when he had the last time we had the Bodhi Cron, because it's a repeat, there was a Chirrut Cron too, and that's like elevating an already viable team. Yeah, it's just hard to like elevate teams that aren't as good now. You need something really like Afra is kind of like not that viable. Bad Batch isn't the OG Bad Batch used to be a staple. Like you take out some team on offense with it, not anymore. And none of these Bad Batch crons are gonna make me want to use OG Bad Batch. It's like new Bad Batch or bust. But just by and large, the most important thing is to have highly leveled crons with the best level 3 ability you can have to just have them distributed across your whole roster. I think I made this comment on your stream that I don't care about the Bodhi Rook level 9. It was just, you were like trying to, or no, Cassian. You're like, oh, are you going to use Bodhi or Cassian? I'm not going to use either of them because I'm not going to use Radis. Like, it's just a generic level 9. I get them to level 9. Just, most of them are only level 9 so I can reroll stats, and that's it. Because you can't reroll stats until it's level 9. It's like, otherwise it's a waste to take it to level 9. If I could reroll stats without getting to level 9, you better believe it'd be like all level 8, like 75% level 8s.
So what I'm hearing, as you partake of your Walmart water, is that
Man, it's the best.
fresh spring water or filtered spring water. What I'm filtered tap water. Basically, I'm hearing that the big divider. Now you have like triple the mods that I have. So obviously that's you just got to grind. There's just grinding on mods, but I probably need to do a little more grinding on my datacrons now because my roster may be there pretty soon. And if my datacrons aren't ready, it's not going to matter, right?
Yeah, I mean, like the Datacron inventory is what really stands out to me as a stark contrast. I mean, it's early in the new set, but the old set you got 7 level 9s and then 4 level 6s. It's just it doesn't match the quality of your roster. Your roster is actually really up there. Because you're under 11, but there's a lot of stuff that longtime players have that you don't. That's kind of like bulking them up.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of players just bring everything to gear 11, gear 12. And you don't have Keller and Beck. When Keller and Beck came out and he had a specific datacron, he was worthwhile to like really work up. And Zam and Shore Trooper, like all these that you used to be good, Baze, Chirrut, not. I mean, they sometimes have viability, but it's just you're not sunk. You don't have GP sunk into them. Snap.
Right.
Like the GG team not really viable right now. So
No.
you just don't have a lot of waste. So it's very lean, and the quality is just really good. So it's just the mods and Datacrons.
All right, man. I take that to heart. When was the last time GG was viable? There's a question.
Grievous, I don't know.
Even the STAP, I mean, it was just like a small lift in certain situations,
Yeah, it's
right?
just such a small little boost. It's been so long. It's been like years,
Yeah.
sadly. I mean, even in TW, I mean, we still use him, but I'm like kind of surprised that my guild still uses him with Droidica. But I mean, he's got some good stuff with the assist and riposte, and 5v5. I'm looking forward to that because especially on offense, because on defense, there's going to be a lot of ways around it, like
Right.
days, whatnot.
All right. Well, that answers. That's really helpful, actually, because I mean, I do farm datacrons. Part of my and I am active. Like you talked about conquest. I always do my 50s. So everything you see in front of you, I have never spent a dime on datacrons, like buying a pack for them. I can't say I've never spent crystals to get some pieces here and there that I need or some currency or whatever. But
Yeah.
I don't go out and buy datacron packs. So everything you see in front of you is farmed from conquest and from doing my 50s. So if I boost that to 100s, I could probably double the level. I mean, I assume I can double what
Yeah,
I've got for
you're
level
doubling
9s there.
your output. Yeah, and then it's just being disciplined with the checking the shipment to get, because you can get 1.25 million every 6 hours. What's your reset on? Like, what time local time is your daily reset at?
I'm at 9 p.m. now, 8 p.m. when it's not daylight savings or whatever. But I'm 9 p.m. right now.
Okay, yeah, so 9 p.m. then 3. Yeah, then you should be able to hit it 4 times potentially. Like, there's not one that's gonna slip by in the middle of the night. Like if your reset at was at midnight and then it's at midnight to 6 is one of the rotations, you might miss that, but you could hit all 4.
Well,
And that's
there is. I will say there is a challenge that I still do use shard shop currency for gear. So I know that the Mark II is there are other places to get gear, and I get
You run
that.
out?
But say again. Yeah.
You run
Yeah.
out?
I've only got right now. I've got it open. I've only got 152 pieces of like the Mark 7 Chewy hypo syringe, and that Mark 6 Athacam. I'm always out of those. So I still do use the shard shop currency to get, especially that left side gear, more than the right side stuff is just expensive. But so that will be a balance for me, or maybe finding other places to get that gear might be worth it. And honestly, with the way that the game works now for people like myself that are buying Lightspeed bundles, although I'm kind of at the end of my Lightspeed bundle journey here because I've got most things filled out, unless they give me like a Bo-Katan or one of those. Where was I going with that? It's not so bad to take it's not so bad to take a little bit of time with your finishing your farms, because you're not going to have this, like I mentioned, the Zetas. Like I've only got I have 5 Zetas right now that I could apply, but I'm saving them for Jedi Master Kenobi.
Yeah. No, yeah. I mean, that's why like it's so easy to balance things on like a completely free account, like my small account. Like I'm not rolling in Zetas, but I'm kind of hoarding for Jabba right now, and there's not too many Zetas on characters I have built up that like I want, just because I build them so slow that it's like I have the corresponding infrastructure to support them when they get there. So yeah, you're just like way ahead on all the farms and a little behind on the infrastructure for them.
I will work on. We'll pass the infrastructure bill.
Yeah. I mean, but it's cool to see you have all these new conquest units and like Balin, and yeah, I mean, new is always better pretty much in this game. So
well, the cool thing about the game is new tends to be better, but the old stuff still has a really important place. So it's not like some stuff fades, but they find and like a Star Killer is still really important on offense for me in Grand Arena, and lots of maybe not for you. I don't know.
I don't know if you saw it. I put it. Dang, any more Walmart water? But I put out a video recently of like these 10 awesome teams that I just never get to use anymore. I put Starkiller on there. Like if I don't use him with Malicos, I don't really use him. I just like the original Starkiller team. It's just so saturated. I mean, even in 5v5, when all he's like his unique isn't active, all he's adding is a big dispel. Like it's so critical for beating Ray. So it's like all these teams are getting combined just because there's so much out there. And there were a lot of teams in the past year or so that came up, like Great Mothers, Balin. I mean Ezra and Ahsoka. It's just really clogging up everything. I don't know where I was going with that other than that, but
All right, man. Well, hey, that's a nice mic you got there.
thank you. Yes, I copied you. I watched a video, and I mean, I asked you about it. I think it was like August or September. I was getting back from a cruise, and like I just got internet, and Nooch was kind enough to look over my small account for me. And I was watching one of his videos, and I was like, man, his mic sounds so much better than mine. And I'm gonna ask him what it is. And
I got this mic about a year and a half ago for Christmas, and yeah, it changed the way I sounded 100%. It was 180.
Oh yeah, I mean before this, I was working with a $25 mic I got when I started the channel and didn't think I'd ever have anyone watch it.
Right.
And I tried to buy a Blue Yeti once because I was like, oh yeah, this is a popular name. I hear it thrown around. It didn't work. It broke my computer setup with the mic for a while, and I had to even return it. And I was like, all right, I'll just stick with this one.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
I love this.
Well, man, any parting words or words of advice, sage advice for the Nooch Too Good community here?
No, I mean Nooch is a good guy. I keep watching him, and I'm impressed with your account. I don't know, it's better than I expected. But with how much you were wailing, I guess you can catch up there a little bit.
Well, it was fortuitous because I started whaling in September 2023, and then 1 month later, bam, Lightspeed bundles. And it was like, this is going to go pretty well. And so I went from, it was Executor and Leia that I farmed, which I know you fully support Leia as that first GL. Yeah. And then I went right into Kylo and Rey and Jabba, and it just all went back to back to back to back. And the roster was built up really quickly with those Lightspeed bundles. So yeah, it's been a crazy year and a half.
Yeah, whenever I don't do as many roster reviews, you're like a machine with them. But whenever I do, it's so rare to find a roster that isn't just like a newer roster that isn't just logged with Lightspeed.
It really is. I did. I don't know if you know, but I did like 1,200 roster reviews back to back in like January and February, and they were like 2 minutes each. Because 80% of them were the same thing. It was like, okay, here's what you did. You got the Jabba bundle. You got Jedi Knight Luke. Just go get Jabba, and then go on. And I could do that really quickly. Move on to the next one, and then about 20% you get something interesting or fun or different. So. It's Lightspeed bundles turn the game on its head. So, and I don't think it's going to stop anytime soon. It's going to for the foreseeable future. That's where the game is and the farming is.
Yeah, the way they're going, it'll just be like everything in the game eventually. I mean, Cup. For goodness sake.
Get your R9 Cup, man. It's only $5.
Yeah, I still haven't spent anything in the game, and that's the fun to me. I could afford to, like, it wouldn't kill me to do it, but it's just. That's not the game I'm playing. Like, the game I'm playing is trying to get as much as you can within those constraints.
Yeah.
So, and like, even if someone gifted something to me, like, that would kind of feel like, like it's not about losing that amount of money. It's about like just within this limitation, I'll do as much as I can, and then see. It's just really satisfying. I'm almost done Jabba on that small account. It's almost exactly 4 months since I got Leia, and I'm close to Jabba. Just need to get Mob Enforcer and Game Guard to.
Well, that's not much.
Not much. Yeah, we're getting there.
I hear you 100%. When you set up the constraints, you say, I want to do this free to play and see what I can do. If somebody gave you a bundle, you're like, I don't even want to open it, because then it just, like, I'm having fun. Yeah, I'm having fun doing it the way I want to do it and doing this path. And, you've got the small free-to-play, and I've always got free-to-plays running in the background, and, like, I don't want to interfere with that, and because it, like you said, it's not like you're cheating, and it's not like it's the money. It's just the principle is a little bit high and mighty about it, but building it where you want to build it and how you want to build it is really important, and if you stain that, I think that means something.
Yeah, I mean it's fun. It's a
Yeah.
lot of fun. That's why I started the new account because there was no decisions to make on my end game account. It was just like, okay, new thing. Okay, I'll farm this when it hits the node,
Yep.
and then work on prereqs for new stuff. There's just not much to think through. The planning aspect of the game was lost.
Yeah.
So that's what I got back with this small new account.
And by the end of the year, I'll be there with my account, maybe sooner than end of the year. But yeah, that's where this account will be. So, all right.
You're looking at having everything and be like, all right, well, now what?
Well, boys and girls, if you have not checked out SONGETA yet, you are missing out on a world of high quality entertainment and education for all. He's carrying an end game account along with a starter account that you started, what, a year and a half ago? Is that right?
The small account I started like January 1st, 2024. So 1 year, 4 months.
Yeah.
Pretty easy to keep track of.
Yeah, and he's got Leia on there. He started off Galactic Republic and then Punishing One came along and made his life suck. And then, although I saw you can counter it.
One every day.
I gotta tell you, I've tried your little counter for that, and my Anakin just gets wiped out every time I try it.
Do you have Anakin on the bench?
No.
Have you? When was the last time you watched me do that?
I don't know. I watched you do it. You had Negotiator.
I start 5s. No, endurance. So you got endurance.
Right.
The only time I use Negotiator is for profundity. Endurance, start Y-Wing, 5s, and Marauder.
See,
first reinforcement is Houndstooth, the way I've been doing it. Because I'm just trying to have them not die. I bring in Anakin only once Houndstooth is out there on the other side and I need to kill them. The starting lineup of Punishing One, Razor Crest, and Houndstooth is trivially easy. It's trivial. I go in, it's easier than facing another mace. It's so easy. If it's Punishing One, Razor Crest, and Xanadu Blood, that's kind of a crapshoot. And I'll win maybe 40% of the time. But I do climb.
Well, maybe I saw an old video. I don't know.
Watch like the video I put out Monday.
Well, my other challenge is on the free-to-play account, like, do I have the prestige to invest in endurance? That's my other, trade-off there. So I'll have to take a look at that.
Yeah, I mean, I started using endurance more and relying on it more this year. Even after I put out my updated free play guide, and I did talk about Mace a lot, but I'm gonna just say, if you can't get Negotiator, it's not a huge deal. Like endurance is so good with Marauder.
All right, well there you go, from SONGETA's mouth to your lips. Wait, that's
ears.
not. That sounds a little too personal. Anyway, it's good to see you, sir. It's been a while. We need to do this more often.
You too, man. Appreciate it.
All right, everybody, have a great day. We will talk to you soon. Go check out SONGETA's channel for sure. And always remember, Nooch too good.